Threads is an exciting new DVD video resource, rooted in the Church of Scotland, telling the stories of ordinary people living out their lives as Christians in the world. Each 20-minute episode weaves faith and life through the eyes of various people, places and situations. The Kirk's story, the sacraments, working in partnership at home and abroad, being ecumenical, involvement in politics and society, being alongside the marginalised, working with HIV/AIDS.
I was the first one was infected too.
Exploring the journey of faith through celebration and joy, as well as struggle and doubt. Discussion material is provided for each episode, making Threads an ideal resource for small group discussion, inquiries groups, membership classes, house groups, Lent groups, or in schools. What does it mean to you to be a Christian in Scotland today?
If caring for those who are struggling and speaking out against injustice is what it is to be a Christian, I want to be part of that. And how can I be part of that? It's about living and witnessing. That's what makes a difference.
A joy. Something to hold on to, so it's an anchor. Something that challenges me constantly.
Sometimes I think I'm not a Christian. I hope it gives me a sense of conscience and a sense of trying to care for other people.
I'm someone who's always held to the view that you have to earn people's respect in order to be heard. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we face as Christians in Scotland today, is that we have increasingly to earn people's respect to be heard. We can no longer take it for granted that we have a platform that will be listened to.
I think that because so many people have this outmoded impression of what the church is, that we have to be very positive that we are here to proclaim God's love for everybody, and that the church is not about thou shalt not, which a lot of people still seem to think it is.
For me, my faith gives me purpose in life and gives me meaning and gives me strength to face. And for a lot of people, a lot of folks are really lonely, I think, and don't have that purpose and that meaning. So for me, I feel that as church, we need to be out in the community and sharing that. Not like preaching at people, but sharing it in practical ways as well.
Rona MacDonald has worked at Tesco's for 12 years since the age of 16. She's currently a service duty manager at the Grangemouth Tesco Metro, with around 50 members of staff under her management.
Well, everybody in the shop knows who I am and knows what I'm all about, and they know that being a Christian is part of my life. I'm not a person that goes around evangelising. I'm not a Bible basher in any shape or form. However, a lot of staff over the years have come and asked me sort of questions about the readership, because that was really interesting for the guys that worked in the shop, because I swear and I drink and I'm a normal person, and they couldn't believe that I was becoming like a part-time minister, if you like, for want of a better word, because it was quite hard to explain to them what a reader actually was, considering I actually can't read because I'm dyslexic, but they kind of got the grasp of it when I said that I was like a lay preacher, and they've been asking questions about that.
How do your colleagues respond to your church commitment?
It doesn't bother them. They don't slag me off for it. They don't take the pan out of me for what I do or what I am, because at the end of the day I'm still Rona, the manager. But everybody in the shop obviously knows that I'm a Christian, and that's a big part of my life, but it doesn't change what they think of me. They seem to be quite interested in understanding that it's not Christianity, it's not just about going to church on a Sunday morning, it's about doing a wee bit more for yourself and for others around you. You know, it's a community store. You can see for yourself that, you know, people have been walking past and saying hello and smiling and whatnot, and it just, and if people know what you are and are about, it makes, you know, people feel that they can come and talk to you, and it can be a bit different, and you know, you don't have to stick to a policy with somebody. You can stamp your own personality onto it, and that's compassion. It's a job that I enjoy. I'm working with more people here than what I would probably work in other jobs. I get direct contact, I get a team, and I can care for them. And if that's not working in the real world, and also being a Christian in the real world, what is?
If today's church is to be authentic, it needs to see itself beyond the Scottish borders and integrate itself within the worldwide church. The church has many partners abroad. In Israel, the church provides a stable Christian presence, working with people of different faiths and meeting local needs.
Proselytization, evangelism, preaching the gospel in any way, shape or form, as we would do in street ministry or in going door to door with leaflets, is illegal. And it is so hard to get through to those with missionary zeal who come to convert the Jews. You can't do it. What we can do is show the gospel of Jesus Christ through our love for every single person that we meet. And the other difficulty of coming to this culture is that one cannot tell here in the land if one is speaking to a Jew, an Arab Christian, an Arab Muslim, a Druze, a Maronite, a Jewish believer, a non-believer, an agnostic, an atheist. And the only way to survive is to love absolutely everybody.
Greyfriars Kirk in Edinburgh is known as an arts venue, especially during the summer festival months. But it connects with the community in other ways too. The church has a long tradition of working with homeless people.
Greyfriars has had a long tradition of working with vulnerable and homeless people going back for decades and decades, centuries even, back to the Greyfriars, who were always alongside the poorest people in society, the Franciscans. To me, it's all about trying to enable people who are often pushed to one side, who are often no longer deemed to be valuable, no longer deemed to be necessary, almost just, let's just contain people, let's just support people. What people want from life isn't necessarily much, but people, I think, want to feel that what they can do will be appreciated, will be useful. One of the things I think that's really important to recognise is that all the work that we do is all driven by our sense of Christian commitment to the community out here. And I sometimes think that it's a wee bit like a sort of tree, the Greyfriars operation, all these different things that we do. And there are different branches of it, and the arts work, the community work, the heritage stuff, welcoming visitors and tourists to the church. But all of it is kind of fed like the tree, fed by this kind of sap that rises through the tree. And what feeds us is this worshipping community, this sense of Christian commitment to serving our community, to being a parish church that meets the needs of all the diverse people that come about our parish. And I think that's really the key thing, is that whilst the worshipping community is not huge, it's there on a Sunday. It's the life of prayer, it's the life of worship, it's the reading of the gospel story that in a sense is the driving force behind all the things that we do. And in particular, one of the things I think that has been so powerful for us are these stories in the Gospels about Jesus reaching out to people who were on the margins, reaching out to people who were non-persons in the community, people who were rejected, and basically realising that when you engage with people who are perhaps on the margins and on the fringes of society, you learn so much. So we can give a lot, obviously, to people, but what we get in return, what the volunteers get in return is far greater than anything we give, because we begin to learn from people who have really experienced disadvantage and alienation from society. You begin to discover what really matters in life.
Threads, Weaving Faith into Life in the Local Church. Available from May 2009.